What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking down the 8th anniversary part 1 stage here. So let's go ahead and jump into the missions, see what we got. So we have a special mission here to clear this with a Connected Hope category team, and then also a mission for Power of Wishes as well. Now there are quite a few units that do cross over between those categories. Obviously we have to nerf ourselves a little bit in order to be able to get that team build to work properly, but this is the kind of team that we're looking at. We do have a couple of sub-in options if this isn't going to work great, so let's go ahead and try and take this down like this and see how we do. If we struggle, then we may have to come back and do the mission separately, which is also an option, but I think for now we'll run this. Keeping in mind the typings we're going to be dealing with, usually these stages are type protected, but, you know, keeping in mind like the final phase being physical or STR. So I guess we do have an STR unit on here, and we have no AGL units, so we might as well face off against the physical. But I guess the problem with that is that we do have a couple of int units. In fact, probably the two weakest units on our team are int, so it's a little bit scary thinking about the idea of facing off against a physical enemy, right? So I think because of that, because we don't have an overwhelming amount of STR units, we'll go ahead and fight the STR boss. I think that that's probably the best way to go. Okay, yeah, and then this works out because he's tech type to start with. Our weak units have, you know, a little bit of an advantage up front here, right? Okay, so yeah, we'll have to see how we do. I think I'm going to put Orange Piccolo in the first slot. We're not going to get a lot of orbs with him because I do want to save all of these physical orbs for the Saiyan trio. I think that's probably the smartest way to run it. Let's grab these orbs. That way they can still get a chunk here. Yeah, that should work out. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, we're out the gates, double-digit tanking normals. That's good. This will be a good tester, too, getting the super attack in right at the beginning. Okay, that did hurt a little bit, but also keep in mind Orange Piccolo has to build up first before he's looking really, really strong, right? And the other thing is that the that was slot 1, like pre-super, so obviously we would be a lot safer if we just didn't get that unlucky to get hit with a slot 1 super, right? So I think we're still in business for the moment. I don't think we're going to be struggling too hard here. We do also have the no item mission, so we're going to attempt not to use any items, because obviously the whole point is to get all the missions done in one go, and if we were going to have to run this back anyway, then it wouldn't make any sense to do the combined team to get both category missions done. At that rate, we might as well just do the separate category missions if we have to do 2 runs anyway, right? Instead of doing the double category mission and then coming back in to clear it with no items, right? Okay, so it looks like we're clapping back pretty hard. Not struggling too hard to take down the enemy's HP here. Okay, perfect. So on to phase 2. Okay, it's gonna be their transformation. Interesting. Okay, I didn't actually read what the like boss mechanics are here. Okay, so this is a bit of a tricky thing with this team that I've built, is that we've got lots of standbys to choose from. All 3 of these units have standbys available right now because of our HP. But we can only choose 1. So, I think probably the smartest play is going to be to put them in standby. I think... yeah, I think that makes the most sense to me. I feel like I can rely on the other 2 to tank a little bit better. This unit is not the strongest in base. Let me remind myself. Okay, so he only gets damage reduction when he's receiving a super attack. And then he gets a little bit of damage reduction because of the allies that we have. But that's it. There's kind of nothing else here, and then it's all just defense. And then, I mean, that's good, the extra defense buff there, but yeah, I don't really trust him, defensively. I feel like I trust the other 2 defensively a little more. Well, I definitely don't trust the Boo Boys defensively, but they're only going to take 1 attack in that final slot there, so I think they'll be fine. Let's go ahead and put them in standby. And now they should be very strong defensively, and we can go ahead and put them up front. We can grab all of these orbs with them. That is going to work out nicely. At least we hope. Okay, we can grab all these for a 24 key super, and then... Ooh, nice. Those yellow orbs fell pretty nicely. Okay, awesome. There we go. There we go. So we get a little bit of healing in there as well. Okay, barring we don't get really unlucky with some type of unfortunate super attack, I think we'll be okay here. I think we will. Alright, we're going to have to see what conditions cause that energy gauge to fill up. I imagine when that gauge fills, we're going to get hit with a really hard super or something. I'm not actually sure. It didn't fill up as we selected orbs. We did select both type orbs and rainbow orbs, so I don't think that it fills up based on any type of orb selection. Surely it fills up based on a certain kind of super attack then, because it also isn't filling up with every super attack that we do. So maybe it's got to be a specific kind of super attack that causes that gauge to fill. At any rate, I think it's probably... My hunch says it's probably better that we're not filling it, right? Okay, let's see. So this one here is a physical super attack. Oh, no, it's not. Both the ones that we've launched so far are special super attacks because they do... you know, they do both like punches and kicks and then finish with a ki blast. So they're not physical super attacks. Obviously not weapon supers, and then they're also not... and they're also not ki blasts. I always say that improperly, by the way. Whenever I say physical, I mean to say unarmed, which means the ones where you're just punching and kicking, and then physical is actually the ones with a weapon, right? But yeah, it's not either of those, and then they're not ki blasts either. Oh man, that punch did hurt them a little bit, but that's okay. We did survive there. Okay, yeah, our defense is looking pretty good with Orange Piccolo. I think we can still trust him where he's at. Man, the other two are looking mighty scary, though. Oh, all of a sudden, he just filled up his energy gauge. Okay, so maybe he just does that automatically after one turn. We can go and take a look at the event details. I have a shocking feeling that we're going to take an L here. So if that does end up being the case, then that's fine. We can always jump back in. But we'll go ahead and glance at the event details before we do so, right? Okay, so lucky for us, we are able to get a little bit of healing in here. Only back to 53%, though. That could be better. That definitely could be better. Okay, let's see if we even live the turn. Obviously, Orange Piccolo's doing fine defensively at this point. He is definitely not the one that I'm worried about. I wonder... So it seems like this, you know, energy gauge fill up is going to affect, like, his ability to super attack us or something. Because we didn't take a super attack last turn. I'm assuming that we won't take any kind of normal super attacks and that he pretty much just does normals until he launches whatever crazy... Oh, I see. I see. So he fills up the gauge on his own, and then you deplete it as you do certain kinds of super attacks? Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, that is looking like what it is. Okay. Well, good to know. Good to know. Let's see if it is, like, any kind of super attack that's going to be lowering that gauge. No, it is not. So it has to be a specific kind of super attack. Oof, those dodges actually came in clutch. He did get hit with the first attack, which does do the most amount of damage to him, right? Okay. Let's see here. So we have a couple of options at the moment. They can charge their finish skill right now to do a lot of damage. The finish skill is going to hit even harder if we select 17 key right here. But in order for us to do that, we would have to have him not in slot 1, right? So I think... Okay, what if we do... I wonder if this is a blunder to put them in standby as well. Well, it can't be that much of a blunder to put them in standby simply because when we do that, then we're going to be... we'll have the revive available, right? So no matter what, we know we're going to live the rotation. I I believe there's a little bit of orb changing that goes along with that. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll put them in standby. That way we know for sure we can trust them in slot 1. Okay, yeah. So then we'll do this. We'll grab all of these orbs. Charge up that finish skill even more. Let's see. So now we're at 85 orbs selected. And then we can launch this finish skill. This is my unit, not the friend unit. So he is actually probably not going to hit like amazingly hard here. I don't imagine he's going to crit on this. Just because, you know, mine's only 55%. So he doesn't have a good chance to crit here. Yeah, okay, that could have been better. That's alright, though. That's alright, though. No big deal. We were also facing type disadvantage, so that could have only done so much for us, really, right? Okay, but the extra orb changing definitely helps there. And then now we can get some more healing in. Hopefully that will help. And then, I guess, yeah, a little bit more healing. Okay, ideally, we don't die right here. Okay. I was gonna say, if we could at least get, like, a super attack off, that would be nice. You know, to be able to do a little bit of extra damage for the turn. Okay, so that is the revive used up. And now we are moving on to the next bit here. Okay, so he... Oh, actually, that worked out well. I think because we faced a turn where by the end of the turn, his charge meter was still full. Now we have 3 charges here. And then there's going to be that detrimental super attack for us, right? He's going to absolutely destroy us on that super. So that means we need to put them into standby to try to tank this super. I think that's probably the play here. Yeah. And then let me remind myself what their defensive abilities are specifically, because we need to buff up his defense as much as possible, right? Okay, so yeah, obviously unable to attack. He does have guard, which helps. Lots of stats here. Does a bit of orb changing. He gets more ki per ki sphere obtained. Okay, so when receiving an attack, he gets 30% defense for every 3 ki. We get the 59% damage reduction if ki is at 24, so we absolutely need that. And then he's also getting 20% defense per ki sphere obtained. And then if we get Fizz ki spheres, he's getting some more defense for himself and all allies. Okay, not bad, not bad. So let's, I guess, prioritize all the physical orbs for him. So we'll grab all these for Piccolo. And then maybe we can get these STRs here. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll be able to grab, let's see, how many is it going to be? 8 orbs in total. Okay, so that should be decent for his defense. I don't know if it'll be enough to tank this. I guess we're going to find out, right? We will see, we will see. And then I imagine if we do tank this and live it, or dodge it, I suppose, is also possible, then I guess he'll just go back to the little charge meter, and we'll just rinse and repeat until his HP is gone. Probably is the way it's going to work. We'll have to see here. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, almost moment of truth. Almost moment of truth. It's gonna happen quick because they our slot 3 unit is not attacking, right? So as soon as we move on to slot 3, we're gonna see the super attack launch. And then we'll see if I had the right idea here or if I have sorely misjudged what we're supposed to be doing in this stage. Okay, here we go. Alright, Ultimate Spirit Bomb coming at us. If we take a lot of damage from it, that's fine. I'm just hoping we don't straight up take a KO here, right? Hopefully all those defensive stacks on top of the guard is enough. Oof, not even close. Okay, yeah, so you can't tank that super. You have to dodge it. Okay, let's take a look at the event details really quick and see specifically what it says about that stage. There's nothing in here. Okay, yeah, because look, we're going from the 6th anniversary to the 7th anniversary straight to 9th. So they don't even tell us anything about that stage. Wow. Interesting, interesting. Okay, well, I guess with that considered, it doesn't look like, I mean, this event looks a little bit difficult. I can't imagine that we're going to be able to beat this with that team. So we probably are going to have to split up the missions. You know, the other option that we have here I did mention there was a couple other units. This is the entire roster of units that fall on both categories that we need to be using. So we do have the Mize available as well. They are decent. They are not bad. The STR Mai, yeah, I mean, she's a really good support unit, and she has some decent damage reduction. So she could be a good idea for us, potentially. And then we also have the AGL Mai that has a pretty good chance to dodge, right? Let's see. Oh, she doesn't have dodge. She just gets a scouter under 50% HP. Oh, it's because she's got the stunning here, which isn't going to do anything for us, right? And then I guess she just has whatever dodge in her kit. So, I mean, she is greatly raising stats. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, with her. Yeah, okay, probably not. Probably not. So what I'm going to do is I'll make a quick cut here, and I am actually going to split up the missions. We'll do 2 separate runs, as we have been typically with these stages. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try the Connected Hope team like this. Maybe this will work out for us. Yeah, this looks quite good. Definitely a better build than the one we just had, right? Okay, so I guess with this one, we do have some decently strong AGL units on here. Maybe it would be smart for us to just go back in on the same side. And then I guess we'll switch it up and we'll do the other path for the other team, right? When we come back in with our Power of Wishes build. Okay. So yeah, we don't want... Well... Yeah, with the Vegeta, he's got type disadvantage. We don't want to put him slot 1 here. I guess we'll keep the Piccolo there. Shoot, we don't have a Movie Heroes. Oh, they should be Movie Heroes, right? Yeah, okay. We do have the Movie Heroes ally to give him the extra, like, damage reduction. Okay, yeah, we'll probably be okay here. This should be fine. Obviously, this first phase wasn't too much to worry about. Just kind of a little bit of a gimme to help get your rotations set. So yeah, we should be alright here. Yeah, Piccolo taking just fine. He was kind of the last add-in on the team, but, you know, we just needed, like... There would have been maybe some better units to use. It's just hard to get them all to fit on the same leader skill, right? Unless you are straight up using, like, a Connected Hope leader, which I suppose I could do. We'd be taking a little bit of a cut to our leader skill, but... And the other thing is that, you know, at that point, then your friend lead changes as well, right? Because we wouldn't be able to use 2 Gogetas. We would still be able to use Gogeta on the team, but then we wouldn't be able to use him as the friend lead as well. And that was kind of the main thing that I was thinking, because he'll be our strongest unit. I would rather have 2 of him around to be able to handle that final phase, right? So we'll see how we do here. If we do have to end up changing the team up again, then that's fine, because we could always just use Tech Gogeta as our lead, right? And then we could just pick up whatever units we want, which would include, like, Beast Gohan as well. That's the biggest unit on the team that we're missing out on at the moment. Okay, so as we saw before, this first turn is just free damage. I'm going to go ahead and keep the Gogetas together. He's got a lot of defense. I think we can trust him in slot 1 here. He'll be fine, especially because we know that we're probably not going to be worrying about any super attacks, right? We should be alright for the moment. And then we can get a couple Rainbow Orbs in there for the STR Gogeta. Perfect. And then I guess we just grab all these for Gotenks. Alright, get a nice, good bit of healing in there. That's definitely helpful. I kind of want to be maxed out for that potential of taking that super attack again, right? I think Tech Gotenks might be the perfect option to put in front of that major super attack, just because he gets such strong defensive capabilities against supers. But yeah, that super hits so hard, I don't even know if he could tank it. So we will see. We will see. That is kind of still the thing that we lack on this team, is like dodge units. But I'm hoping that with this team build, we're actually got enough offensive capability that we're not going to have to worry about taking that super attack to begin with, right? His little energy gauge is basically fully depleted at this point. So yeah, all of these super attacks that we've been doing are servicing us very well. Yeah, and we're just doing so much damage to him. Okay, I can't imagine this is going to be too difficult to take down then. Oh yeah, and we're not even done. We're not even done. Okay, so we'll see if his gauge just goes straight to full on this next turn. I'm not 100% sure like how much he adds to the gauge at the beginning of every turn, because obviously on that last fight, we didn't lower the gauge at all on that first turn, and then it filled up. So maybe he gets like 50%? Yeah, okay, it looks like he fills 50% of the gauge every turn. So as long as you're lowering it by 50%, then it'll never fill up. And it looks like so far we are accomplishing that, so that's good. Okay, so he's still got a little bit of defense in there. Again, we're only facing off against normal attacks, so we probably should be fine having him in slot 1. I don't think we're gonna suffer too much there. Okay, 24 key super with Gogeta. And then we'll grab all these purple orbs, saving the blue ones for next turn. Which next turn is probably going to be the final phase of the fight, because we're going to start to get the active skills ready to go. You know, specifically for the getting out the AGL Gogeta, we'll be able to do that. So that's going to be quite helpful for us. Or actually, I'm sorry, that would be turn 5, wouldn't it? Hold on. Yeah, we might have to hold out for one more turn here to see. Because these guys would be the one that can activate their active on turn 4, right? But they obviously won't be around because they're here now. His HP is looking pretty low already, though, so that's a good sign. We also did lower that energy gauge quite a bit there, so it looks like maybe it'll fill up more than 50% at this point, because we aren't going to deplete it fully to 0. It looks like these guys don't have the right kind of super attack. For that, I guess it's Ki Blast supers that actually cause it to lower. But that's fine, because on the next turn, we're going to have the, you know, AGL Vegeta that allows us to continue to lower that gauge, just to make sure that it never fully fills up. The other problem, though, with next turn, I think, did the AGL Gogeta's defense roll off? He still has 600k. I can't remember when he loses it. I know it's 3 turns, but yeah, okay, it's from his entry, and this is his 3rd turn. So he still does actually have all of that. Because, yeah, this is his 3rd turn right now. Okay, perfect. So then we'll leave him here. We don't actually need to do the tag switch or anything. We can just go ahead and continue to get some attack raises in with him. Yeah, that's probably going to work out fine. And then I still want him linked up with the STR Gogeta. We can only get 1 Rainbow Orb there, but that's fine. It'll work. At least we're at 100% HP for the moment. Alright, and then name of the game right now is we need to get that gauge lowered below 50% for sure. We need to get that gauge below 50%. If we're able to do that, then we're going to be safe for the next rotation, because we don't have to worry about that big super attack, right? But it seems like we're pretty much a shoo-in to win this anyway, just because of how low his HP is. So even if he does fill up that gauge on the next turn, we're probably just going to KO him before he can get off a super attack anyway. I guess as long as that super attack that we saw proc in the 3rd slot is guaranteed to be at the end of the rotation, right? As long as that's the case, I think we're going to be fine. If he even makes it that far. Wow, he might just be done right here. Okay, that could be even better for us. Let's see. Let's see how lucky or unlucky we get with these guys here. Okay, we get another additional super. That's good. Alright, is this gonna do it? It just might. This just might be enough. Oh. Well, we still got one more. Okay, same deal. This just might be enough. I think it probably was, based on the amount of HP he had left there, right? Yeah, okay, and the crit seals it off. Okay, there we go. There we go. So we didn't even have to deal with the super attack there, but we still had an entire turn if we did. And it looked like his gauge was actually lowered below 50%, so we would be fine there. Okay. Well, not too bad. That worked out for us. I think we probably could have beaten it with that other team had we built a team smarter around the specific kinds of super attacks that we needed to launch in order to lower that gauge, right? But not having that information definitely hurt us. But there we go. So we were able to get the stage cleared, and then we got our Connected Hope mission done. So now we just have to get the Power of Wishes mission done here, and then we will be good to go. So let me make a quick cut. We'll build the Power of Wishes team, and then we'll come back in. Alright, here is our Power of Wishes build. Let's go ahead and jump in and give this a shot. Okay, so yeah, especially keeping in mind that we do have a couple of strong STR units on the team here, we are going to go ahead and run that right path, facing off against our physical enemy. I'm actually excited to use the LR Kaioken Goku here. That's the main unit I'm very curious about to see how he's going to perform. Okay, how do we want to do this? I think I actually want to rotate them off. I kind of like the idea of having these two together. Though Broly, Chi-Lai, and Lemo are almost definitely going to need... Yeah, this is a smart way to do it, because I am going to probably rotate off the Broly trio on the next rotation. Oh man, it's just going to depend on the orbs that we have available is the problem. Because we don't have a Rainbow Orb Changer on the next rotation. Or wait, these guys are Rainbow Orb Changers, right? They're just changing their physical Orb Changers, not Rainbow Orb Changers. Okay. I guess we'll keep that in mind. Maybe we can try and hold on to as many Rainbow Orbs as possible. If we just focus all of our key selection in one spot. If we just leave that entire right side alone, maybe we'll be able to do this. Let's see. Let's see. So we'll grab all these for Goku. Man, we can't even get the support up with Bulma if we do this. But I think that's okay either way. Actually, let's do this. And then hopefully we'll still have 7 orbs somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of that tech on there. This should probably be fine. Okay. It's the first phase, so I'm not too worried about getting hit hard. I think it's okay that we sacrifice not selecting as many key spheres as possible. And then there we go. We just straight up dodged the super. So we should be definitely living this first turn. So yeah, I think name of the game here is going to be to try to get the Broly trio alongside Bulma. That way we have a consistent Rainbow Orb Changer to make sure that every single turn they're getting the 7 orbs they need to gain the full dodge. That is kind of a really, really important part about using them. So... yeah, I think we'll be fine though. We're probably not going to KO the enemy right here, so I think we'll at least have one more turn on this easy phase before we have to get into the real tough stuff of the fight, which is nice. That does give us an extra second here to set up the rotations. But obviously we do have the potential to struggle if we're unable to make our rotations work properly. So we'll see. But yeah, the main kind of scary thing is that if we are attempting to rotate off the Broly trio on this next turn here, we don't really have a slot 1 unit. Yeah, I guess this is how we run it. Probably. Because I do really want to rotate off the Broly trio. I want to try and get them around onto rotation with the Bulma as quickly as possible. Though, the other thing we could do... actually, this could be good. So, we can get the 7 orbs with them right now. Yeah, let's do this and we'll rotate Bulma off, since we have a slot 1 unit on the other rotation already. And then we're going to get one more turn of Bulma's orb changing on the next phase. So then we could probably do the same thing, where we set up the orbs to make sure that the Broly trio is good. Yeah, this will probably work out. And then now we're probably gonna KO this enemy before we have to worry about that wall of attacks at all, which is nice. Yeah, between these 2 attacks we should be fine. Oh, and they even just get an additional. That works. Okay, so moving on to the next phase. That is definitely not a problem. I think had that Gohan gotten supered in like the 2nd slot, that probably would have been a bit dicey for us, right? Okay, we got a healthy chunk of rainbow orbs there from Bulma. So, we want to make sure that the STR Kaioken gets as many STR orbs as possible. That's going to help him do the most damage. So, let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll do the same thing. Again, trying to make sure that the Broly Trio stays safe here. So, I am not going to select any of those orbs on the left side. We will select these, and then maybe we go for these greens with Bulma. Yeah, and then there will still be 7 orbs available for the Broly Trio on the next turn. Perfect. And then that way Bulma gets her full support active, which also gives the Super Saiyan 3 Goku access to his 18 ki. That actually kind of worked out perfectly. Oh, I didn't pay attention to their gauge. Was it half full at the start of the turn, the same way as the other fight? And then that was based on orb selection that caused it to be lowered? I think I saw that correctly. We'll double check on the next turn. Okay, a 36 million attack stat coming in. Definitely good. Definitely what we want to see from Kaioken Goku. Also good that he is still able to tank the normals, at least. I know he's not, like, the most amazing defensive unit, but I think as long as he doesn't have to deal with super attacks, he's going to be fine. So he kind of is perfect for a stage like this, where we don't really have to deal with super attacks at all, until, like, the really strong finish effect, right? Which, if my hunch is correct, and it's about rainbow orb selection that lowers that gauge, I think we're going to be perfectly fine here. Okay, so we have the ability to put our STR Gohan in standby. We are definitely going to do that immediately. That is a no-brainer. Okay, so we'll throw him in standby. Sweet. Get some Dragon Balls applied to the fields. You love to see it. Alright, so in order for Broly Trio to get their 7 orbs, we have one option exactly. So I guess there's no real thinking to do about it, right? We might as well just grab the orbs and move on. Yeah. Okay, so they were lowered by a little. His HP, or his little gauge was lowered by a little bit with that orb selection. We did get a couple of rainbow orbs and a couple of type orbs. I guess it's gonna be... how do we want to do this? Let's grab these. They're not going to get the most amount of orbs there at the end. They're only getting 2. Okay, keeping in mind that we want to try to free up these STR orbs for Kaioken Goku, let's go ahead and select these orbs. That way maybe the greens, yeah, if those greens fall nicely, we might be able to free up some space for those STR orbs. We'll see, we'll see. Oh, did the gauge... I believe the gauge did not lower at all on that last one. I actually forgot to look on that last key sphere selection. So yeah, I still have yet to see if it's gonna be affected by just rainbow orbs, or if it's type orbs only, one or the other, or if they both affect it, if one affects them more than the other. I'm not sure about the intricacies of that, but we definitely do know that that gauge is being lowered based on orbs selected. So regardless, the more orbs we select, the better per turn. That is definitely going to be the right idea for us. And then we just have to hold out long enough to be able to launch that family Kamehameha. Once we do that, I can imagine maybe it's going to be GG, because that thing does hit really hard. Alright, we'll take any additional supers that we can get. Definitely helpful to have them. Okay, so, the gauge is going to be a little higher now. Okay, looking closer to like 60% or so. Okay. So, we have access to the Great Ape transformation. Is it past his 3rd turn in battle? It should be, right? It's his 5th turn in battle now, so we do need to use that, because he no longer has the great chance to dodge. So mainly because I want to put him in slot 1. I don't know how badly he would take hits in slot 1. Actually, Kaioken Goku, yeah, but I don't want to put Kaioken Goku in slot 1 because we need to free up all those STR orbs before we, before we allow him to select key spheres. So, with all of that being considered, the only thing I'm worried about is that gauge. during all of this key sphere selection, because if I attempt to, I mean, okay, no matter what, we do have to put this guy into his transformation, right? So let's throw him in Great Ape. The gauge is still there. And I'm worried about, because I do want to try and salvage all of these STR key spheres for Kaioken Goku, but the problem is if I don't select a lot of key spheres here... Oh, no, actually, the gauge only fills up at the beginning of a turn. So logically speaking, if it's still turn 5 when we transform into Super Saiyan 4 Goku and go back into the rotation, the gauge should not fill up anymore. I think that is correct. If that is correct, then we can do this. We'll select just 2 here, we'll select these orbs here, and then we can grab all these tech orbs here. So now the gauge has been lowered a little bit for us. And officially, we know that the gauge does lower without rainbow orbs because we just selected those tech orbs and the gauge did lower a bit for us, right? Okay, so we get some free damage. Essentially, this should be a freebie, right? Man, is this yet another use case for giant form transformations? That's going to be huge if, when we defuse here, the gauge does not fill up anymore. If it does, then that's going to be a bit of a blunder by me, but it's okay. It's for science. We're just figuring things out, right? But I'm pretty sure that won't proc again because it's still going to be turn 5. We'll see here. So it's at about 50% right now. I think if it does proc, then it's going to fill up. It's going to fill up and we're going to be at 100%, which would be not the best, right? But we'll see. We'll see. Let's take a look and see what we are working with. Okay, it did fill up again. Alright, well, that's not the most ideal thing. However, we are at least looking good on a couple of fronts. One, it's lucky the gauge didn't fill up all the way. Two, we have a ton of STR key spheres here for Kaioken Goku. Does he actually max out? Oh, yeah. So he's getting all these orbs here. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna do, like, his maximum possible attack stat on this turn here, which is very good. And then another thing that's very good for us is we're gonna get a lot of key spheres selected, so that gauge is actually gonna lower by quite a bit. That's very, very helpful. What's gonna be the way to get the most orbs selected? Let's see. Because if we do 4, this is probably the best way, right? Because this will be 7, and then beyond 7, we're only going to be able to get 3. Based on the way it looks like everything is going to fall, we'll only be able to get 3, whereas this is going to be 4 and then 6. So I guess it's the exact same. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't make a difference then. We might as well select these. Okay, and then we can grab those 3. Alright, hopefully the Rainbow Orb changing on the next turn is good enough for Broly, Chila, and Limo. Okay, 42 million attack stat. That is quite gnarly, quite nasty. Yeah, and we crit because of the 24 key super. That's definitely helpful, right? And this guy is about to do the exact same thing. So hopefully we can get an additional with him. Nice. Okay. So the gauge did not lower enough. We're above 50% right now, so it's gonna fill up on this next turn. But we've done a lot of damage already here. And we do have the Family Kamehameha that we can launch on the next turn. So potentially, maybe we just activate the finish skill 1 turn early, since we did select all the Dragon Balls already, and we're already at the charge counts necessary. We're not going to be doing max damage or anything, but his HP is already pretty low, so maybe we won't even need to. Yeah, and with all these additionals, we're just doing so much extra damage here, right? Yeah, we're probably going to be fine to just launch the finish skill. That might just be GG's for us. Let's see. Okay, so the orbs didn't fall amazingly for Broly Trio to be able to get their 7 orbs. Okay, but if we do this, we'll get the 5 orbs for the Bulma support to activate, and we'll add an extra few charge counts to the finish skill. And then here, potentially, we could just launch the finish skill right now. I think that's probably the best idea. Let's do it. Let's do it and see. Obviously, if this ends up being a mistake for some reason, then as long as we don't select our third key sphere selection, then we can just... Oh, well, yeah, there we go. It was plenty. I was going to say, we could always reset the app if need be. But yeah, that worked out. That worked out very easily for us. Okay, that wasn't too bad at all. So there we go. We got the Stage 8 Part 1 missions done here. So let's go ahead and collect our missions, get our updated skill orbs, and then we will jump over to the Hidden Potential tab and apply our brand new skill orbs here. Alright, so for the STR GT Duo here, for the old skill orbs that they had from last year, it looks like we had the level 8 defense, the 4 crit and 4 combo attack, and then 5 crit, 5 combo attack for the gold slot. And now we're going to be upgrading slightly with the defense here, getting a very different orb, which I think is much better in general, with the dodge and defense on the silver slot, and then just upgrading the gold. So it's pretty standard. All 3 of them got better, so we're just going to go ahead and apply all 3 of the new orbs to him. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch back to the game, and we will take care of that. Okay, so it looks like I had just like a random attack equip on him before. Not a problem though. I think it's definitely smart to go the defensive route with him at this point, right? Haven't applied new skill orbs to him since he basically released. Which back when he released, he wasn't really in need of the extra defense and stuff. It was kind of nice to be able to take advantage of the additional offense capabilities that he had, right? But now I think that this build looks really good, much upgraded. So yeah, there we go. That works out for him. And then now we'll move on to the Boo Boys here. It looks like they have all of their anniversary equips applied. And then really quick, we might as well show it just for continuity purposes. But yeah, we're dealing with the exact same set of orbs here. The same previous orbs and the same exact upgrades this year. So we'll go ahead and upgrade all 3 of these as well. Alright, so we'll throw on a level 9 defense. Cool. Alright, get that extra dodge in there. You love to see it. And then upgrade that gold slot as well. Alright, well, there we go. That is the 8th anniversary Part 1 stage completed. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below. That's going to do it for this one, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.